5 tips that are going to make your volleys awesome. Tip number 1 has to do with your elbows and having your elbows out away from you. In fact, let me show you this from the side. When your elbows are out away from you, it helps keep your swing small. When your elbow is out, look what it does to the racket. It makes your racket a wall. So when your elbows are out away from you, whether you hit a forehand or a backhand, two-handed or one-handed, having the elbows out helps keep your racket very square against the back of the ball. Elbows out in your ready position going to make a huge, huge difference in your ability to hit the back of the ball. Second idea is to split step. The proper timing on a split step is to be in the air as your opponent hits the ball, timing it correctly. So when Tyler hits the ball and makes contact, I need to be actually in the air for the proper timing of the split so that you can see Tyler hit the ball, but you'll see I'm in the air as he contacts. Tip number 3, you want to keep your hand below the racket. Should be in your ready position. You don't want to be like this in the ready position. You want the racket up with your hand below the ball, below the racket. Now, when I made contact, in fact, I'm going to do one right here. When I make contact with the ball, you'll see that my hand is below contact. Just one ball here, Tyler. Look how my hand was below contact. Third tip, you want to put the racket face in the way of the ball. The ball is going to arc with gravity. The ball is going to spin with topspin. So the ball, this parabola, is changing as it comes over the net. A mistake I see players make is they set the racket too high on the volley, then the ball drops, and then they're forced to chop. Rather than setting your racket above the height of where the ball is going to arrive, see into the future. Know where the ball is going to arrive right off the opponent's racket and set the racket there. Then you don't have to move the racket and you can push flat through it rather than having to chop so much. So my goal, if you could feed the ball a little slower so there's a little more arc to it, maybe even a lower ball, you'll notice how I set my racket where I'm planning on hitting, put my racket where the ball is going to arrive. So watch this. I'm going to put the racket down. I set my racket here. That was a perfect feed. I set my racket where the ball was going to arrive. Do that again. Last idea. I want you to finish on your volley with your strings still facing where you want the ball to go. But the idea is simple. You want to turn, elbows out, remember, that helps get your racket square against the back of the ball. You want to turn and you want to move your racket, keeping the strings facing your target. You're going to do this on both the forehand and the backhand. Let's just hit some forehands and then we'll go to the backhand. So I'm going toward my target, doing my best to keep my strings facing my target when I'm done. Review this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Which tip is going to make the biggest difference in your volley game?